There is a specific moment that many people over the age of 50 encounter, though it often arrives without warning. You might be someone who, for decades, prided yourself on being a good sleeper. You put your head on the pillow, closed your eyes, and 8 hours later, the alarm woke you up. It was automatic. It was reliable. But recently, the pattern has shifted. It might manifest as a sudden alertness at 3:00 a.m., where the mind simply switches on, and the body feels ready to start the day long before the sun rises. Or perhaps it is the early evening crash, where keeping your eyes open past 8:30 p.m. feels like an insurmountable challenge, only to result in waking up well before dawn. When this happens, the immediate reaction is often frustration. We wonder what we are doing wrong. We analyze our dinner, we question our stress levels, and we worry that we are losing the ability to rest. However, this change is rarely a sign of failure. It is not necessarily an indication that something is broken. Instead, it is a sign that the body is moving through a distinct physiological transition. Just as metabolism changes and flexibility changes, the very structure of how human beings sleep evolves as we mature. To navigate this new terrain, we must first understand what is happening beneath the surface. We need to look at the biology of rest, not as it was when we were 30, but as it actually is today. The most significant change involves what specialists call sleep architecture. Sleep is not a uniform block of time. It is a cycle, a staircase that descends into deep rest and climbs back up to lighter dreaming states. In our younger years, the body spends a substantial amount of time in the deepest, most restorative stages of this cycle, often referred to as slow-wave sleep. This is the type of heavy slumber where you are essentially dead to the world. A car could backfire outside, or a thunderstorm could roll through, and you would likely remain asleep. As the brain matures, the architecture of this staircase shifts. We begin to spend less time in that deep, slow-wave state, and more time in the lighter stages of sleep. Think of it like swimming. In your 30s, sleep was a deep dive to the bottom of the ocean, where the surface noise couldn't reach you. Now, sleep is more like snorkeling just below the surface. You are resting, and you are submerged, but you are much more aware of the waves and the environment around you. This explains why you might wake up simply because the furnace clicked on, or because a partner shifted in bed. Your sensory radar is more active because you are swimming in shallower waters. This is not a malfunction, it is a natural thinning of that deep sleep barrier. The phase advance. Alongside the lightening of sleep, there is a second phenomenon that confuses many people: the phase advance. Deep in the brain, there is a master clock that controls your circadian rhythm. For most of your adult life, this clock likely stayed in sync with the social world. You got tired around 10 crust or 11 host p.m. and woke up around 6 crust or 7 host a.m. However, as we age, this internal timekeeper naturally shifts forward. The signal to release melatonin, the hormone that primes the body for sleep, arrives earlier in the evening. This is why the couch looks so inviting immediately after dinner. The body is screaming that it is midnight when the clock on the wall says it is only 8 p.m. Consequently, if you go to sleep at that earlier biological signal, your body will naturally wake up 8 hours later, which might be 4 a.m. You haven't had insufficient sleep, you have simply had shifted sleep. The frustration arises when we try to force this new biological timeline to fit our old social schedule. The fragmented night. This combination, lighter sleep architecture and a shifted clock, leads to what is known as sleep fragmentation. Rather than one long, unbroken block of rest, the night becomes a series of shorter naps strung together. You might wake up, adjust the blanket, check the time, and drift back off. While this can feel alarming, it is often a normal variation of mature sleep. The problem usually isn't the waking up itself. It is the anxiety that follows. When we wake up and immediately think, "Oh no, I'm awake, this is terrible," the brain releases adrenaline. That chemical surge is what turns a momentary awakening into an hour of staring at the ceiling. Understanding that these wake-ups are a standard part of the process can remove the fear. If you wake up, it doesn't mean the night is ruined. It simply means you are surfacing from a shallow dive before going back under. Working with the change, not against it. While we cannot force the body to return to the deep sleep patterns of our youth, we can use specific strategies to improve the quality and continuity of the sleep we do have. We can thicken the barrier between us and the waking world. There are 3 specific approaches that can help stabilize this lighter, shifted sleep. 1. Managing sleep pressure. The first strategy involves a concept called sleep pressure. Imagine your need for sleep is like a balloon that slowly inflates from the moment you wake up in the morning. By the end of the day, the balloon should be full, creating enough pressure to push you into sleep and keep you there. As we get older, we often accumulate this pressure more slowly, or we accidentally release the pressure too early. The most common way we release this pressure is through napping. If you are struggling to stay asleep at night, that 20-minute doze in the recliner at 3:00 p.m. acts like a release valve. It lets just enough air out of the balloon that when bedtime arrives, there isn't enough pressure to sustain a full night of rest. Protecting your sleep pressure is vital. This might mean fighting through that afternoon drowsiness by getting up and moving, ensuring that when your head hits the pillow at night, your biological need for sleep is at its absolute peak. 2. The 20-minute rule. Because our sleep is lighter, we are more prone to lying in bed awake. This creates a dangerous association. The brain begins to link the bed not with rest, but with frustration, thinking, and tossing. To break this, many experts recommend the 20-minute rule. If you wake up in the middle of the night and cannot fall back asleep within roughly 20 minutes, do not stay in bed trying to force it. Get up, leave the bedroom. Go to a dimly lit room and do something incredibly mundane. Fold laundry, read a dull magazine, or sit quietly. Do not look at screens. The goal is to wait until the wave of sleepiness returns. By leaving the bed, you stop the brain from practicing the habit of being awake in that space. You are protecting the sanctuary of the bed solely for sleep. It feels counterintuitive to get up when you want to sleep, but it is one of the most effective ways to reset a fragmented night. 3. Anchoring the morning. Since the internal clock is shifting forward, we want to anchor it firmly so it doesn't drift too far. The most powerful anchor we have is light. Your eyes contain specific receptors that communicate directly with that master clock in the brain. Getting bright light, preferably sunlight, into your eyes within the first 30 minutes of waking up sends a strong reset signal. It tells the body, the day starts now. This morning signal helps delay the release of melatonin later that evening. If you find yourself getting sleepy too early, increasing your light exposure in the late afternoon can also help push that window back, helping you stay awake longer and sleep later into the morning. Natural support for a calmer system. Sometimes, even with these behavioral adjustments, the nervous system remains a bit too reactive. The shallow swimmer is still too easily disturbed by the environment. In these cases, the body may benefit from additional nutritional support. As we age, our absorption of certain minerals and our production of calming neurotransmitters can decline. There is a valid place for using natural compounds to help lower the volume of the nervous system. We are not talking about heavy sedatives that knock you out and leave you groggy. Instead, consider the role of gentle, supportive ingredients found in nature that work to relax the muscles and quiet the mind. Elements like magnesium, specific amino acids, or traditional botanicals can act as a bridge, helping the body transition into that relaxation state more easily. It is about providing the raw materials the body needs to maintain a steady state of calm. For those interested in seeing what a comprehensive natural support system looks like, there is a link in the description below that explores this in greater detail. It serves as an option for those looking to round out their sleep hygiene with nutritional support. Acceptance and adaptation. Ultimately, the goal of understanding these changes is to reach a place of acceptance. Fighting the reality of how your body sleeps now only creates tension. When you accept that your sleep is lighter, you stop panicking when you hear the wind outside. When you accept that your clock has shifted, you stop beating yourself up for being tired at 9 p.m. You are not losing the ability to sleep. You are simply learning to sleep differently. By protecting your sleep pressure, respecting the bed as a sanctuary, and perhaps providing your body with the right nutritional environment, you can find a rhythm that leaves you feeling rested and restored. The body is remarkably adaptable. It wants to rest. Sometimes we just need to get out of its way and give it the right conditions to do so. And while we have focused heavily on the mechanics of the night, there is another crucial factor that influences your sleep quality: the fuel you put into your engine during the day. Specifically, how you handle hydration and beverages in the morning can dictate how often you wake up 12 hours later.